Good morning from Edinburgh, Scotland's capital and second most populous city. Please join us for our wonderful trip through Scotland's main two cities, Edinburgh and Glasgow.
So we've decided to come to Bertie's famous fish and chips for lunch. It has over 4,000 good reviews on Google, so it must be good. But it's pretty busy. It's a very nice atmosphere, very old, like 80s looking place.
It's different. I don't know if my dad would approve, but I think it's pretty nice. Okay, here we go. First bite of the fish. That was really good.
It's a pretty nice market. It's getting cold though with the wind. But we just had some brownies, we had a Baileys and a caramel brownie, and they're really good. But it feels like we just started. There's so many people coming through. It's constantly down there. Watch out, we're pushing through. We'll see what's left in the market.
We decided after our little nap to come out and see the lights. It's not too cold, but it is, yeah, it's like 7 degrees, so we definitely came in the best week of Edinburgh's winter. So we're gonna go to the Tesco, maybe get a meal deal, but I think there's no meal deals here, in my opinion. And then
That's a bold claim, eh? To make on the internet to everyone.
yeah, but yeah, you can see people going out for their nights and they'd like dress in like mini skirts and stuff. So I don't know
That's crazy.
how they don't freeze to death.
Here we are on another wonderful Edinburgh morning. We're off to Holyrood House.
Yes, and then what else are we doing today? Hopefully hopping into Marks and Spencer's.
Yeah.
And we got some local cuisine.
Iron brew.
Iron brew.
And what do you think of iron brew?
It's quite nice. I like it more than the South African one. Yeah. We also had a meal deal, so apparently they do exist in Scotland. Yeah, that was a big I told you so from Mark.
Yeah.
Never gonna live that one down.
But yes, we're walking eastward now on the wonderful Edinburgh streets.
Yeah.
Look, Brick Road, which is interesting. Really loud with the cars. But it's nice. Not too cold.
Yeah, it's actually fine.
What do you think of Colton Hill?
It's very cool. Not too big of a climb to get up here. So it's one of Edinburgh's first public parks, apparently, and it was the site of public executions back in the 1600s, so it's a bit dark.
Here's the view of Edinburgh. I don't know if you can hear, but it's quite windy, as you
very
can
windy.
see. With Leona's hair. It's not too cold, luckily. But a great view. k's on the mile, and we're having some thistly grass, which is apparently a local thing.
Yes, should we try some?
Yes.
That tastes like brutal fruit.
And I'm having a barbecue pulled pork sandwich with chips. And
So traditional. I'm having traditional Scottish fish soup and some haggis spring rolls with some Scottish whiskey dressing syrup. I don't know. Actually, I want to do a reaction.
yes. Hot. Okay. Not bad.
No, you just shouldn't think about what it is, and then it's okay.
But does it taste not bad?
I thought.
How's the whiskey dip?
That's very nice. That can be like an ice cream syrup, actually. That's very good. It's just potato soup, actually. It tastes like potato soup.
Walking down the Royal Mile to the whiskey experience. Give us some thoughts on the Scotch experience.
Yeah, it was very cool. It was a very cool room that we were in at the end that had this other guy's collection. And there was over 3,500 bottles of whiskey. So that's quite a lot of whiskey. So it was cool. I just wish they gave us more whiskey to taste. So
Yeah, there were like 5 options and you can get one of the options.
yeah, so I feel like it would have been cooler if we could get all 5 to taste, you know, even if it's just like a little bit of each. But yeah, for that price it was like £23 per person. So I feel like for that price they can give you a little bit more than one glass of whiskey. But it was cool, definitely an experience. We're walking now, it's freezing and the wind's very strong. We're walking to Dean's Village, past the beautiful castle over there.
The worst time for me to
Yeah.
stop. Yeah, let's try again. That is apparently Dean's Bridge. Who is Dean?
I don't know, but he has a bridge and a village, so
This is part of Dean's Village.
yeah.
Very nice houses.
Yeah.
And a very nice waterway in front of it. Tell us about Sally's Bells.
So I made Mark walk up, according to him, 100 stairs, but I
It
don't
was
think
literally 100 stairs.
I don't think it was that many stairs. So I wanted to listen to some traditional folk music. And there was a pub called the Black Cat by our hotel that did this folk music, but they only did it from 4 to 7, and when we got there it was 8, so we were too late. Yeah, and then I found this other place, and now we're here, but it was like a 1.5 kilometer walk away from our
Up
hotel.
100 stairs.
Up apparently 100 stairs to listen to some folk music. And we got here, and the bar was like dead silent. So I was like, yo, I'm gonna get into trouble. But now there's lovely folk music playing. So,
Fiddles and so forth.
fiddles and so forth, yeah.
And we're having, what are we drinking?
This is the Loch Lomond.
Merry Christmas.
Have a Merry Christmas. What was it? And what's the other one?
Stout.
Stout. Yes.
Which
And
is-
this is a pig, and it's
Yes,
have
and-
a Merry Christmas.
and they're both rather fruity, I must be honest.
Yeah, it's quite nice.
But they are, not too bad.
Yeah, and there's some fiddle music over there.
Yeah, and here's the bar.
Okay, what's happening?
We're on top of Edinburgh Castle and we just got some whiskey fudge, which we're gonna try. There's a whiskey shop here, of course. Apart from being absolutely windswept and freezing and raining,
Yeah,
it's very nice up here. Well laid out.
Sorry?
Old.
Old, yeah.
Yeah.
But actually not that old. So this is, what's it? Margaret's Cathedral. This is the oldest building. It's the only one that was not burned down in the fire. And all these other buildings are not that old. They're 18th century, so little babies. How's the fudge?
It's nice. It's just basically tastes like fudge and whiskey at the same time. Very nice.
Yeah. So within the castle there's many museums. So this is the Museum of the Royal Scots. And then over here is the Royal Scots Guards. And down here is the prisons where they kept the prisoners of war. Yeah. So we're having a lunch at the Castle Cafe. What's it called? Sorry?
Red Coat.
Red Coat Cafe. Mark is having a
turkey, ham and cheese ciabatta.
That's very good. Coke Zero. I'm having a quiche with some salad. We're having an indulgent hot chocolate. And yeah, this is our view.
And we have 28 minutes until the doors lock before the 1 o'clock gun.
Yeah, the doors lock at 10 to 1 for the 1 o'clock gun, so we have to eat fast.
Thoughts on the castle?
It's very cool. Very Scottish looking. Steep inclines. Fortified, yeah.
Cold, windswept.
Yeah, but apparently all you have to do to beat them is just attack their well, because they don't have any other water sources, so pro tip.
On the wall. Here's the moat. And then the courtyard. And that's where the Royal Mile starts. Now we've come to the end of our Edinburgh section of the trip. We're at Edinburgh Waverley train station, which is in the centre, and we are taking the train to Glasgow, the ScotRail train to Glasgow, which is arriving now, and we'll take you along with. How's the ScotRail?
That's good. I just don't see any luggage storage, so I have to.
We'll make it up. Here we are in Glasgow Central. We're taking ScotRail from Glasgow Central to Venus Bay, but we're stopping at Cardonald, the first stop. Here are the trains, and on platform 15. What do you think of Glasgow Central?
That's nice. We got some Greg sausage rolls.
And a pizza.
And a pizza, which is very good.
Nina's double parking, as you can see.
They don't like giving tomato sauce with these things, apparently.
Oh, you didn't even try it. But yeah, we're here in Glasgow. We had a chilled night last night. We didn't really do anything. Watched some TV and then we just went to sleep. And we're back. Battery changed. Unfortunately, the last one ran out. I don't know where. But we're in Glasgow now. It's cold and rainy. Not too cold though. And we'll go and meet my cousin at Cardonald. Cardonald.
And we're going to see some coos.
Yes, and
We're going to Loch Lomond and walking around in the where?
the List Trail.
List Trail with markets. Mark loves a good market. And getting lunch there somewhere. Yeah, it should be a good day.
Here we are at Cardonald train stop in Glasgow. And what do you think? Not very busy.
There's no one here.
There's a little car park. We have to wait, I think, 10 more minutes. We can just wait around here. Not too cold at least, and there's no wind, so it's fine.
Yeah.
Just a bit of rain.
Here we go, there's Leonie, and we finally met Carrie. Say hello to everyone.
Hi.
Tell us about Loch Lomond and the Bonnie Banks.
I don't really know too much about it, but it's Baltic.
But here's Loch Lomond. We made it. We're currently on a mission for looking for some Highland cows, and we're walking along the river path. Water's pretty clear over there. It is raining quite a bit though. It's a nice walk, still not too cold, and wonderful scenery. Are you happy you got to see your cows?
Yes, look how cute they are.
What are their names?
Macy and Margot.
An awesome river at the back here, pretty fast flowing. Nice little forest as well. But the cows are the main attraction. So we're currently in Pollock
Park.
at the Highland Cattle Park, because Leona is absolutely dedicated to seeing some cows. And we can see over there there's a few.
We'll try and go around.
Yeah, we're trying to work out a way how to get closer to them, because they're quite far away. Especially from the ones yesterday. There's also some at the back there.
Yeah. And then they have a lovely restaurant here, so we're gonna get some breakfast.
Yeah. But it's a pretty big park.
It was founded 200 years ago by the Pollock family, and they brought the cows here. And now there's over 60 female cows and about 3 breeding bulls. Yeah,
Decent amount of cows.
decent amount of cows.
It's a lovely park. So.
She just wanted to help with the farming, and now she's stuck in the corner. What did you think of the coos?
They're very fluffy. Interesting looking things. And they got like lots of hair in front, so I don't know, sometimes it looks like it's covering their eyes.
Yeah.
Sometimes it looks like some of them have haircuts.
Yeah. They have double fur coats to survive the Scottish Highlands. So, yeah, otherwise they'll be freezing.
Yeah, that's actually not too bad now, to be honest.
That's fine, there's a bit of blue in the sky.
Yeah.
But, yeah, we're going to that place over there. That's called the Burrell Collection. It's a little art, I don't know, art stuff. But they have a restaurant with Angus beef burgers. So, yeah, we have to
Locally
go.
sourced, actually.
Locally sourced. Hopefully not from those chaps over there. But, yeah. So we have to go try that out. Yeah, and then we're going to the Christmas markets later. And then we're going to some family this afternoon for some tea and cake. So that's the day, plan for today. And then we're having a chippy tonight for dinner.
Yes.
You keen for a chippy?
Always keen for a chippy.
Yeah, we'll have to see how the Guruk chippy's like. We've been promised it's some of the best, so we have very high hopes after Bertie's famous fish and chips. So, change of plans. They didn't have any food till 12. And we didn't want to wait that long. So we had, what did you have? A club sandwich?
A barrel club sandwich.
Barrel club sandwich. I had a scone. We have some mochas and cappuccinos and a Biscoff fruit cake, but Mark doesn't like that very much because it's fruit cake, but I didn't know it's fruit cake when we ordered it. But yeah, Quite nice.
I was just sold on the fact that it's a Biscoff.
Yeah, we just say anything Biscoff and we just stop reading. That's quite nice, little restaurant. And a nice view. No cows though. They can improve on that.
Here we are in Glasgow City Centre. We're at the Gallery of Modern Art. And we're walking to St. Enoch.
Yeah, they like throwing cones on statues.
Yes, we were just at Glasgow Queen Street Station there where there was a Christmas market. And we're going to walk this way. Come on. We took an Uber from Pollock Park to here, and now we're walking back to the central station to pick up our luggage. So we're on the way to Greenock from Glasgow Central on ScotRail, and we're passing the Clyde and Port Glasgow at the moment, and we're with cousin Abby. She's a local, she's going to give us some facts.
Just one fact. The River Clyde is the 9th longest in the UK. Stunning.
It is stunning.
You can't see it now.
What else can you tell us about Glasgow, Abby?
Please mind the gap when alighting from this train.
Pass, I need to Google. So we're in the Cove in Gourock and we're having the pancake platter. We've got 10 pancakes, lots of fruit, Nutella. Where is the Nutella actually?
Well, it's Nutella.
It's here.
Yep.
Maple syrup.
Bacon.
Have you guys got this in South Africa?
Cream, whipped cream.
The cream, like the whipped cream out of the sushi bottle.
Yes.
Sushi, yeah.
Bacon, bananas.
Marshmallows.
What do you call these again?
Kinder
Bueno.
Kinder
Oh, yeah,
Bueno.
yeah.
Bueno.
Yep. What else have we got?
Smarties.
We've got Smarties,
some Biscoff stuff.
some Biscoff stuff,
This is
and
caramel.
Or fudge or something.
Oh, that's biscotti.
yep. And this is also one of the best places for coffee as well.
Yep. I've got an oat milk cappuccino.
Americano. You've got a decaf and you've got a normal cappuccino.
So we're up the Tower Hill in Gourock, and this is where the viewpoint was during the war. That is the Dunoon ferry over there. What's that one called next to Dunoon, John?
I have no idea.
Something.
Kilcreggan?
No, Kilcreggan's here. Helensburgh's here, and then takes you right up the Clyde to Glasgow. And that's the Battery Park down there actually.
William Wallace was definitely here at some point because he only lived in Elderslie, which is just up the road.
That's Gourock Station down
Braveheart.
there. Do you know the sun always shines on that field over there? Like it can be pouring rain at this side and it's always shining there.
Which field?
And we'll take you down
That
to
field
the
over there.
Why don't you go live there then?
Yeah. And we'll take you down to the war bunkers in a sec. They're just below us down here.
You said your Anna had in the war bunkers and
Yeah,
she
my
remembers
granny
that?
Dorothy, when she was a wee girl.
No.
So in like the 1940s, when my gran was in school, if the kids were like late for school or didn't turn up for school, they would bring them here, and they would have to spend like 6 hours in here. Just they were obviously a little bit different back then, but we'd have to spend 6 hours in here if they were late for school.
You can find a haggis up here.
Have you ever caught a haggis?
Yeah, twice.
Sometimes you spot one up here,
Yeah.
if you're lucky.
Thank you so much for joining us on this wonderful trip. We hope you enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe, and we'll see you for the next one.